Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome back to the series of understanding the inner self, cultivating peace. This is the journey of raising our inner awareness, the awareness about our inner self. And yesterday, how we have explored about the human nature layers, right? How they work. And thank you very much for your presence and for your support. And I know this is, you know, New Year Eve of Lunar New Year Eve. We are welcome to new Lunar New Year. And tomorrow is the first day of the Lunar New Year. So everybody are preparing to welcome new comments, new blessings, and things and on come to our lives. So happy Tet holiday to all Vietnamese, and happy Lunar New Year for to everyone wherever you are in the world. We are waiting for uh, beautiful things. We are and we enjoyed our meaningful, beautiful lives. And so uh, today we will have day, as I remember, day 10 in a series of 21 days, or in other words, 21 sections. And before we get into the new lesson today, before we get into the new lesson today, if anyone have any lessons, any insight or enlightenment you want to share with me, with us, please do share. Let me share the screen. So, okay, here. Or if uh, you're not convenient to share, to unmute, you can put what you want to share on the chat box or in the comments. So I can see that. Yesterday we discussed about the human natures, right? There are 16 human natures, which has uh, the desire and perception nature. Desire and perception natures are the key disposition, the key disposition of human nature. And one's desires and perceptions about wealth, about beauty, about fame, about appetites, about resting, decide um, the intensity and the level of the the anger nature, ignorance nature, the pride nature, the doubt nature, the evil nature, and the view nature, right? And decides what we receive, how we express, and our desire, our consciousness. So if we understand how the human natures work, we understand ourselves more, and we can use our and desire and perceptions in the positive ways, to achieve the goal that we want. So our life is governed by the where we go, what we want something because of our desire and perception, and it leads us to everywhere, everywhere we want. Just borrow the desired, and as long as we have the desired and perception about something, we definitely get that. We definitely get that. So the things that how can we have that desire and perception about that? And when we have desire about just for ourselves, just for ourselves, it means that that desires in the is that we call this negative desires to just for self only. And of course it's so when a person cannot get or their desire and perception are not satisfied, so they simply show the negative side of that nature. So every nature has the negative side and the positive side. Depends on their desired and perception on particular thing. And if we have desire and perception for other people about, for example, about talents for other people, so we show the kindness to share and generosity to share what we have for other people. So it showed the positive side of that nature. Okay. Just brief. Okay. Just brief review on today on yesterday's lesson. So let's get into the new lesson today. Mm, there is in human structures, inside humans, not just there are four layers, right? There are another components. Okay. We call it three masses. Okay. Blessing, blessing mass, merit mass, and evil mass. Blessing mass, merit mass, and evil mass. And there are the total karma. There are three mass and total karma, which includes um, knowledge, knowledge karma, Hello, teacher Mai. Thank you for being here with us.
Hello.
Thank you for your presence. Do you celebrate Lunar New Year there in Finland?
I just stay at home and go outside with the nature. Yeah, it's like separate with myself.
I'm
How
thinking
about you?
I'm thinking, I was thinking, what should I do tomorrow? Because
Okay.
my friends, most of them are in Vietnam now, so and the other is just Filipinos, and they don't celebrate Lunar New Year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's like we will separate online with our family.
yeah, yeah. I think so. And
Okay.
I'm thinking about going to the cemetery. In here they have a quite beautiful
Mm,
army cemetery, so we can have the good view, sceneries, and could be there for a while. I just thinking
mm,
about that.
mm. How long time do
Thanks.
you live in Philippines?
Sorry.
How long do you live in Philippines?
Um, it's almost 6 years. Almost
6 years.
6 years.
Okay. six
Yeah,
years.
almost six
Okay.
years. Yeah.
Mm,
Okay, thank you for your presence. Let's continue. So we are talking about besides four layers of human structures, we have three masses and total karma. And in three masses, we have blessing mass, we have merit mass, and we have evil mass. And the total karma differ. I think these words are, I know that is from Buddhism, but it's quite familiar to many people. Many people are using these words, so I guess many people know about the karma words. And so about regarding the total karma, we have three types of karma: knowledge karma, and we have condition, condition karma, and outcome karma, the outcome karma. So there are three karmas, types of karmas, and three masses: blessing, merit, and evil. Let me read the definition of these three masses, so we have an idea about what is it. Um, I'll read the definition of it to make sure that the information is correct. Give me a second. Okay, about blessing, the blessing mass. A blessing mass um, corresponds to the positive electromagnetic fields. A blessing mass corresponds to the positive electromagnetic fields. So the blessing mass correspond to the positive. We have the yin yang or electromagnetic fields around their human nature layer. So blessing mass corresponds to the positive electromagnetic fields stored within their human nature layer. Stored, stored within the human nature layer. It is accumulated. It is accumulated when one brings joy to other. It is accumulated when one brings joy to others. In other words, satisfies their desires for for wealth, for beauty, for fame, for appetites, for resting. A person with blessing mass experiences more favorable circumstances in life. Again, blessing mass corresponds to blessing mass corresponds to the positive electromagnetic field, magnetic field store, which store within the human nature layer. This layer, human nature layer, and it is accumulated when one brings joy to others. In other words, when one satisfies others' desire for desire and perception, for wealth, for beauty, for fame, for appetite, for resting, for resting, and a person with a blessing mass, a person with blessing mass experiences more favorable uh, circumstances in life. For example, um, this is explaining how uh, once was born in um, wealthy family, very full of conditions, or once was born in very poor family, and so it depends on their blessings, which they have accumulated for countless lifetime, for countless lifetime. When we talk about human structures, according to Buddhism, we talk about lifetimes, countless lifetime, not only this time, but many, many times before. So that's why they explain about someone was born in this family, but not another family. And who has the blessing mass experiences the more favorable circumstances in life. And because it's nothing other than the positive charge, the positive particles in the electromagnetic fields, which within the human nature layers. So it's just the positive particles, just positive particles. And how do we accumulate these particles, these positive particles, or the pleasant particles, or the positive or pleasant seeds? How do we accumulate that? Hello, teacher Tanpung. Thank you for your presence. Um, we accumulate it by by satisfied once uh, when we brings joy to other. And how can we bring joy to other? By satisfies their desire for wealth, for beauty, for fame, for appetite, for resting. Uh, let's take an example about my uncle. And my uncle on my mother's side, he when he started his business, he's have a small storage which self rice like self meal uh, to people. They're just like a small shop. Uh, and in the beginning, he have a hard time to manage that shop. And then when he time passed by, uh, he diligent in working for that shop, and uh, he satisfies people's appetite, desire for appetite, and to be exact, that is for they eating the food. He made a good food to people, and then it brings joy to others and satisfy their appetite. So he accumulate blessing in that field, and time passed by. He um, he have good results. Um, he gains uh, good result in that field for his shop, and then he earns a lot of money just from that small shop. And he have house, he have cars, he have another yeah, conditions, material life. So blessings are ones who have blessing must experience favorable circumstances in life. And if a restaurant can satisfy other people's desire, for not only for appetites but also resting. When people come to that restaurant, they feel comfortable with the chair, with the table, and they also serve not only food but also like r- like a resting room, for example, or like the room for people to take a nap. So and is they don't stop at that. They can satisfy people about uh, desire about beauty. If when they come there, they see how they organize the stuff, organize like they have beautiful view, and everything's theirs was organized perfectly, beautifully, satisfied the customer's eyes about beauty. And they don't stop at that. They could satisfy other people, the customers' desires about fame. If that place attracts a lot of celebrities and famous people there. So many customer could go there just to see and have chance to meet those famous people. So satisfies the customer desire for fame, or that could be that restaurants can place in a very in a spot, um, very expensive areas in that city. So it's what satisfies the customer's desires about them. Or they can't serve it to satisfy the customer's desires for wealth, like when they uh, go go there, they could learn some new skills. For example, there are some restaurants they offer the package that customer can learn some, like, cooking skills from the master chef there, for example. So if they in one place or once in that restaurant, they serve people which can satisfy the customer's desires for not only appetites, resting, but also beauty, fame, and wealth. Of course, the price there is not the normal price. It can be very high, but still attract many people goes there because they satisfied people's desires for wealth, for beauty, for fame, for appetite, for resting. So that's why they accumulate blessing more than just satisfied customer desire for appetite. That's how it works. How people accumulated blessing. So when you make someone happy, when you make someone feel comfortable, it means that you accumulate blessing. Of course, when we talk about blessings, it can be in many sections, many areas. It's not just uh, one blessing for all. Like my uncle's example, he satisfies the customer's desires for appetites. So he accumulated blessings in the in the restaurant industry, for instance. Hello, teacher Mai. Hello, teacher Ang. Uh, thank you so much for your presence here.
Hello, hello, Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. So that is the let me check. Sorry. Uh, yeah, good evening, and I know this good morning there in your site. Thank you. So that's about placing mask. So let's continue to the next mask. Let me read. Okay. Uh, the the second mass, which is merit mass. Merit mass, also known as the electromagnetic, the uh, halo energy, the balanced electromagnetic field, as which store within the the truth layered. It is accumulated by having others realize um, their true nature, elevate their inner awareness to the third level, which generates some merit merit mass. According to Buddhist principles guiding others towards enlightenment and liberation generates immeasurable merit mass. A person with merit mass lives a peaceful life and attains wisdom. Okay, again, merit mass is also known as the halo energy, or in other words, is a balanced electromagnetic field, which is stored within the truth nature, the truth layer, the truth layer, yet the innermost layer of human structures, the truth layer. It is the merit mass or the merit particles or the merit seeds is accumulated by having other realize their truth nature or elevate their uh, inner awareness to the third level. To the third level. What is the third level of our inner awareness? We'll know when we when we explore about the wisdom light. So as of now, we know that if we have other people to realize their truth nature, uh, or in other words, when they realize their truth nature, it means that they elevate their inner awareness to the third level, to the third level. So, and according to Buddhist principles, guiding others to enlightenment and liberation generates immeasurable merit mass, and a person with the merit mass lives a peaceful life and attains wisdom. So to simplify things, merit mass is nothing other than the halo energy, or in other words, we call it uh, the balance electromagnetic field balance, which is no positive or negative. It's balance. It's balance. So because we know that is because it's balance, so that's why it can maintain unchanged over time and space, never changing, everlasting. Okay, so those that merit is stored within the truth layer, the truth layer, the innermost layer of ourselves, the truth layer. And how do we accumulate a blessing? The marriage mass or the marriage seeds or the marriage particles, um, by helping others to realize their truth nature, the truth nature within themselves, or in other words, elevate their inner awareness to the third level, which is helping them to realize their truth nature. Okay, realize there's the truth from within, and according to Buddhist principles guiding others towards enlightenment and liberations, generates the immeasurable merits mass. And what is the use of merit mass to human's life? The persons with merit mass can have the peaceful life and attain wisdom. So we'll know more about wisdom going to explore about wisdom light in a few days. So that's about merit. That's about merit. Uh, so those who have merit, they have good spiritual life, a peaceful life. They attain wisdom. They know what is the right path to go, what's the right decision to make. It's very simply for them to see everything in clarity. And what is the evil mass? The evil mass is the opposite to the blessing mass. It's correspond to the negative. Okay, let me read the definition. The evil mass correspond to the negative electromagnetic field. Okay, so it's correspond to the negative is nothing other than the negative charge, negative particles stored within the human nature layer. And it is generated by one causes suffering to others. It's generated by one causes suffering to other people. So to simplify it, blessing, we know that blessing is just the positive particles in the and stored within the human nature layer, and the evil merit is another part of human nature. So is the negative particles, just negative particle, or we call it yins, yin seeds, yin seeds, yin yang, yin in yin yang, yin seeds, which stored within the human nature layer. And why do we have this mass? Why do we have these evil seeds or evil particles? Because when one causes suffering to other people, it generates the evil mass and the evil particles for them, evil seeds for them. That's why it's when we interact with other people don't because they don't understand this point. They don't understand um don't understand. They don't know about this. So they cause suffering to each other and generate the evil mass for each other. That's why their life, you know, just be worse. And we can see that simply in the family's relationship, when we can simply encounter the situation that parents nag, criticize their children a lot. And when they're doing that, they when their children do something and they feel angry about that or they feel unhappy about that, it means that they are suffering from their children's behavior or actions. So uh, by by doing that, they just indirectly generates the evil seeds for their children, and in the and vice versa with any relationship. If we simply people don't know about this, so they get angry, they they have sufferings when they encounter some situations about when their loved ones do something. So that's why um people just simply causes the evil seeds for each other. So how do we um, stop that. There's a formula. There's a I don't know if we call it formula. Um, I want to share it with you that I have learned from my master and teachers, so we can apply it to avoid these situations. Instead of causing evil seeds for each other, we can indirectly accumulate blessings or generate blessings for each other. How do we do that? Especially when we encounter the unexpected, unwanted situation. Okay, so when one encounter mm, an event, okay, and is at first they thought is a bad situation, is a bad situation, and of course they got just negative feelings, just negative emotions, and then the way they respond would cause suffering to other people. So it generates evil seeds. It generates evil seeds to other. Okay, so it's negative, right? It's generate negative evil seeds. What if? What if also that event comes and we have blessing, sorry, lesson. We got insight, or we have an enlightenment, a realization. Okay. You can have the first lesson, second lesson, the third lesson, the fourth lesson, fifth lesson. The same event come, but at this time, we don't perceive it as a bad event and just react with the like a random feeling, but we at first accept it, and then at first we can't use borrow the hearing natures or the seeing nature and know it at its ease, and ask yourself which is the lessons you have here, which is the insights you have here, or is it the answer for you have the answer for a long-standing quest. So that's what I'm doing. And even before, I often ask myself, what is the lesson here? What is the lesson here? There is always lessons. So we remember about the image of a person who is arrived our himself or herself by six chains or six selves, right? So it went um, in life we encounter many things, hardship, challenges to have us learn something, to grow and to grow, to develop. And if we don't have the self development, we grow from within, and many challenges, obstacles, problems comes to us to help us realize the lesson, to grow. So that's why when we have a chance to learn something, list down on the lessons that we have, and when we have the lesson. So in that event, we have the lesson. So the person who bring that lesson to us, who is the person who bring the lessons to us? So they are teachers. They are teachers. He or him, he or she, or they are teachers to us because through the events they cause, the thing that they bring to us, we realize something, we learn a lesson, we have an insight, and we grow from that event or that incident. And because of that, we appreciate, we are grateful for the lesson that we have learned to make us grow. So, your appreciate, you're grateful for the lesson we have learned through that event. Of course, we don't feel grateful for the events that the bad event or the negative situations, but we appreciate, we are grateful for the lesson we have learned to help us grow, for the insights we have got, so that we can apply it into our life, or for the enlightenment to answer for our long-standing quest. So this, if we are able to do that, if we are able to do that, uh, I think this formula, we call it um, we use kindness, return evil. I think they call us uh, return good for evil. They use return good for evil. Guess zero for evil, or return good for evil. So through that incident, through that event, we have lessons, we have insights, we have enlightenment, for example, or realization. So we elevate our inner awareness. We and through that incident, we appreciate the lessons. We're grateful for the lesson we have learned. So that the persons who bring that incident to you, um, they becomes a teacher. So indirectly, they we generate the the blessings seeds, the blessing particles or blessing mass to that person, because they are the teachers, teach us that lesson. So this we can use, by this way, both of us have can elevate the inner awareness and accumulate blessings together. And if we are able to do that in any situation, in any circumstances that we encounter in our life, we become we become uh, we become this one. Blessing and merits machine. We become blessing merit machine. So anyone who meets you, they accumulate more blessing. They accumulate more merits. And if we use that as the definition, so we call this machines, right? The machines who release something, so like the machines can produce the cash, we call this cash machine, right? And if we anyone who meet us, they accumulate more blessing, so they have more favorable circumstances in life. They experience the more favorable uh, circumstances in life. They accumulate more merits, seeds, merits, particles. They have more peaceful life. They attain wisdom. So we call those people who have other people accumulate more blessing and merits is the blessing merit machines. What if we become the blessing merit machine for our loved ones? When we encounter the negative, it's negative to us, for example, at first negative events, and then we can use the return good for evil formula to transform the situation, and we learn a lesson from that, we have the insight from that, we have enlightenment from that, and then both of us, anyone in that situation, gains blessing. And if through that incident, anyone can realize their truth nature, the truth nature from within, so it's indirectly generate the merit seeds for the for um for the people who bring that incident to. So that's how we can use this formula to transform our life and the people around us. um, I remember a story that my teacher have shared so many times, but I think this is a good example, especially for parents to know how we apply it into our daily life with the children. When one morning my teachers and his wife just woke up and they saw their children just play with their um, toilet papers, toilet papers, and they tore the toilet paper and they scarred um, on the floors everywhere. And because the night before, uh, he bought their toilet paper, but haven't stored yet in the cabinet. So the kids just play with that toilet paper, and then my teachers didn't see any problem with that. They just closed his eyes and sleep again. After a while, his wife and he woke up and they smiled at each other and play with the kids. And then after played with the kids, and they ask the kids, they share with the kids about the usage of toilet papers and um, how people make that, and the usage of that is not just it's not for us to play like this, but we use it for some another purpose. And they are and he also understands that when we buy something at home, we need to teach the children to understand about the usage of everything in the house, so they know how to appreciate, to feel grateful for the things that they are using, so they can treasure everything that they have. So since then, he learned from that lesson, and he also teach his children that lesson. And since then, he never seen that uh, that event it happened in his life anymore. That's how one example that we know about, to understand more about this formula, how we encounter, how we respond to the message, how we respond to the events that come to us, and we can transform the one negative event to the positive one by having the lesson, by having the insights, and if we can share it to other people, so this can generate more of lessons and merits. Uh, so become there. Um, Before I want to, I have a question. It's kind of inquiry for me. If I can't, um, change, transfer my before I did know about human structure. I have learned about this knowledge, but I have a question, because I am Buddhist, so I knew about blessings. At that time, I couldn't differentiate between blessing and merit, just know blessing only. And I have an inquiry that if I can transfer my blessing to my loved ones, because I love them and I want them, and I believe that with blessing they can have a better life. And I have that questions until I studied this knowledge, and I know that everybody has their own blessings, and um we cannot transfer it. Like it's so with the old thoughts, people thought that children was born in that were born in that families because they grant the blessing from ancestors, for example. But when a person have a good life, because they have blessing, their blessing, and we cannot transfer our blessing or merit to other people. But one thing we can do uh, is this formula. This formula gives me a hope, uh, for me and for many people, to be a blessing merit machine, that through ourselves when other people meet us, we turned into be a blessing merit machine by um, ask ourselves the lessons in this situation, in this event. We appreciate and feel grateful for the lessons, the insight we got. So through that event, people uh, indirectly accumulate blessings or merits. And for those who become the blessing and merit machine, of course, they have blessing and merits, right? Because the machines contains, the cash machine contains cash. Um, so blessing merit machines contains blessing merits, blessing and merits. Um, hopefully that uh, everybody get got this idea to become a blessing marriage machines. I want to be, and I'm learning to become a blessing marriage machine to everyone, to me, to everyone. So this I think this is the simple way for everyone um, to have a better life together, together. Okay, so this is the return good for evil, or use kindness return for evil formula. 25, 26. Okay, we and as we know that when we have something like we have blessing, we have merit, and if we don't know how to give them, how to say safeguard, protect them, it could lose, right? So that's why you see that many people who create a lot of values, many values to other people, and they spend their whole life, they devote their whole life to help other people, but they don't have the good life as they deserve. Why? Because there are factors that affect, make someone lose their blessing or erase their merits. So what are they? So we need to know that to protect ourselves, to protect our blessing and merits. The first one is resentment. 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 Resentment, everyone. For our resentment, we can encounter this in women, simply than simpler than men, as the nature of women has a 55% of negative you know, um, negative particles. So in 100%, they often have um, 55% of negative 55% of negative particles, negative uh, electromagnetic fields. So that's why it's caused them to um, simply encounter the negative situations and cause them to have the resentment simply. So they can easily have the resentment mm, on something or someone. They blame people for something, for example. Um, so that's why resentment makes people lose their blessing. Blessing is like a mountain of money, like money, like cash. So um, just fire, one fire can destroy fire of like fire of resentment can destroy the forest of blessing. So um, or anger, anger is in another factor that affects um, people's blessing. So we need to be care of this resentment, and we can easily encounter this the resentment in women than men because they have by default they have 55% in their nature. They have 55% of negative particles or negative seeds. Um, but in men, they usually have 55% of positive particles. Uh, so that's why they have just around 45% of negative particles. But if we encounter resentment in men, it means that is pushed towards the negative side a lot. So that's why it appears resentment in them. So in men, if we encounter resentment, it's because they the loss in their blessings greatly, significantly. So in women, if we encounter in resentment, it could cause them loss in their blessings simply. But for men, we don't simply see the resentment in men, but when they have the resentment, it means that the loss in their blessings greatly, very fast. They lost their blessings, and just in a second of resentment, they could cause the loss of their good life, favorable circumstances in life. Because we seldom see the resentment in men. But if we encounter that in men, it's because a lot of the loss greatly of blessing in them. And so when we see the woman who devote her life to serve for the whole family, but nobody in the family like her. Uh, at first thought, of course, we can see that she is very diligent. She devotes her life for the family. How can her family members treat her badly like that? But only she know what's within her. Of course, when she creates value for other people, she accumulates blessings. With the blessings, of course, she should have the good life, but she didn't. It means that we need to uh, she need to be honest with herself if she have any factors that affect her blessing, like for example resentment. Many people do something but with the resentment, and we don't know uh, what uh, what they experience from within, what they have in their minds. So we know that resentment is the factor that could affect other people. Um, blessing. Okay, but we don't focus on the the darkness, right? So we have resolutions for resentment. We don't focus on how do I not be resented, for example. Just focus on just focus on appreciated gratitude. So when we focus on appreciated gratitude, there's no resentment. Further things that we can appreciate too, we can feel grateful for. So there is no resentment anymore. The second factors that could affect our blessing and merit, especially blessing, mm, that is arrogance. 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 We can see arrogance are in men more than women, right? Because by default, by nature, man's has 55% of positive particles, so they can simply have the good conditions in their life. When they do some things, they got many favorable conditions, and they simply achieve whatever they want, simpler than women. So we can encounter arrogance in men simply. Um, so they can't they are easy to lose their blessings by arrogance. But in women, by default, they have only 45% of positive charge. But when they have arrogance, means that it has pushed um, too high, uh, choose their positive charge. So that's show arrogance in her. So when it's too high, you know, when it's reached too high, it means that this is starting off. When it's the mm, um too much too much of in yin and yang. When it's too much of yin, is that is starting of yang. Too much of yang is starting of yin. So she when she show the arrogance, means that it's pushed too high of yang. So it's the starting of yin, and uh that woman's lost her blessings greatly. So when a woman has the arrogance, mean that she lost the blessing greatly. So that's why when we see we can when we observe the human life, we can see that those women who showed her good, especially at work, they show um, her arrogance. or how good she is, better than men, look down on guys. Uh, of course, she could have a very successful career, but at home, if she keep doing that, treats other people, her husband look down on him because she couldn't have the harmonious, happy family. It's destroyed her blessing. It's she lost blessing uh, in some way. So arrogance is another factor that affects our blessings and our blessings, especially in women. And we can simply see arrogance in men. So men, when they have arrogance, they lost their blessings simply, easily. But if we encounter it in women, they lost their blessing greatly, very fast, quickly than men. And we, of course, we don't focus on how to remove, how to avoid arrogance, which is focus on cultivate our humbleness, our modesty. If we are humble, so we're not arrogant. If there is light, there is no darkness. That's the second factor could affect our blessing. The third one's anger and anger and ignorance. Okay, anger and ignorance. So I will try to share uh, these factors. The factors is still we still have two more factors which affects human blessings and merit. So it would be pass our time a little bit. Okay, so about the next factors that could affect our blessings is anger. Sorry, only one G. Anger, anger and ignorance. For these two, it depends on the situations. It's quite equal for men and women. Because when they show anger or ignorance, depends on the people around if they suffer from their anger and ignorance, so they lost their blessing. Because we know that in that situation, it generates the evil seeds. So when the evil seed generates, it means that the blessing lost. And but we don't focus, of course, we don't focus on how to avoid anger or ignorance. Just for anger, focus on tolerance, and we know about we could explore about a tolerance in a few days. Should know, and we know that if we have tolerance, we can simply accept, understand other people, right? Respect other people. So by doing that, there is no anger. Uh, we accept, understand others, understand differences between people, and for ignorance, if we realize the truth nature, or we have the inner peace, It means that when we attain wisdom, so there is no ignorance, or it means that if we attain wisdom, there is no ignorance. There is no ignorance. Adultery. Hmm? Sorry. Adultery. Okay, this one is adultery. This is adult adultery. And adultery is between men and women um, can be treated differently in different cultures and custom and region uh, and in in the times uh, like for instance in the past we where people um, highly value men than women, so uh, one man can has many wives, right? And he can sleep with many women, many women. And but a woman, if she sleep with many men, it will be different story. It would cause suffering in many people. So she lost her blessings a lot, significantly. And even people in the past can kill that woman for having an affair with other men. But for the men who can have many wives or many women, it is normal. So it depends on the time and depends on the region. For some region, uh, where women are has more power than men, so they can have many husbands, and so she can sleep to many men, and it's a normal like a norm in that region. So and with the Eastern and Western cultures are different, uh, adultery can be treated differently in different regions. Where in Western countries, if man or woman have an affair, they could be treated quite equal now, I, in some region. But in the Eastern um, countries, adultery of women's it quite can be considered as like a sin, a great sin to the society. But for men, people can see it's quite it's not very serious um, problem. So it depends on the society, on the cultures, on the custom of that region. Anyways, if it's caused a lot of sufferings on other people, so that person lost their blessing. So that's the way that's how it works. How it works. Um, so and we don't try to avoid adultery, but we focus on um, we learned about morality. We understand. Sorry. we understand about ethic, morality, and because we also don't know what we know that we know about karma, right? Uh, and when things happen, it's from our karma, and we never know what we have accumulated in the past. And when I say in the past, it means that in countless lifetime. So we never know what have happened, and somehow our wisdom just is covered by something, and we don't have any sanity to see things clearly, and sometimes people can make mistake, and we don't know about that. So that's why we need to uh, we cannot guarantee anything, but we just focus on learning, accumulate more um, the morality, accumulate more the good things, the helpful uh, source concepts, so that we focus on morality, moral ethics. So it will be less than these um, problems in us. And the last one, which could affect our marriage. These five factors uh, will affect our blessing. But this one, mm, wrong view. Wrong view could affect our marriage. Wrong view, it means that the way we view something, and we just give our uh, perspective, we give our view, and we don't open to another knowledge or a perspective to just give that. So is erase our merit, is is cover our wisdom, sanity. We don't see things clearly, and kind of we attach to our idea, and we think that we are right. That person thinks that they are right, and they don't accept another view. And we also don't focus on the darkness, just uh, focus on how to avoid the wrong view. We just for the wrong view, uh, just try to how to elevate our inner awareness up to the third level of inner awareness, or in other words, we realize our true nature, or we receive the truth, realize the truth, the truth within us, so we can simply avoid the wrong view. These factors uh, affect our blessing and merit. So we need to, and we don't need to avoid these factors. We just focus on appreciative gratitude, cultivate humbleness, tolerance to people, or have the inner peace, find, realize the truth from within, attain wisdom, and to focus on morality, focus on moral perspective, ethics. so we are able to protect our blessing and merits. Um, so that is what I want to share for everyone today about three masses, which insights ourselves and affect our life, decides if we have good life or not, if we have favorable circumstances in life or not, if we have the good spiritual, the peaceful life or not, depends on our blessing and merit. Three masses, and we know what are they, how to accumulate it, and the role of them in our life, and how to protect them after we accumulate it, and how we can protect them so that we can have a good life, not just about material life, but also the spiritual life. This is, okay. I know it's a little bit too much today, um, because today is the last day of and we are welcome to the Lunar New Year, right? So please bear with me. And if you have anything want to share or any lessons, any insight or any realization or enlightenment want to share before we wrap up, please do. I'm more than happy to hear your voice. Yeah, thank you, teacher Ting Tang. Thank you for your companionship. Yeah, thank you so much for your support and contribution. Yeah, we together we can do it. We can share this philosophy of uh, root education to many people who are speaking another language. Thank you so much. So I guess everybody also in the Zoom of our in our community that we have with our master, and please let me stop the sharing. Um, I'm about to go there as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for your presence, for your support, and being here with me, with us, is really is give me a warmness. And this today is the last day of this year, this lunar year. So um, w- I wish everyone to have a full and fulfilling new year, mm, harmonious, happy family, and can create more value and shared uh, to this roots education philosophy to many people as you can, and see you in the rest of our life. Thank you so much for your companionship, for your support, for your love, and happy New Year. I guess I could see you in another Zoom. Uh, Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, teacher Mai.